zero makeup on. This is horrible. I should have prepared for this.
Welcome back to the show. We apologize. She didn't make the makeup person didn't show up in time, so Lynn does not. No, it's not Lynn. It's.
Well, that's Lynn.
It's
yes,
Lynn. Yeah, it's
yes.
Lynn. Okay. So Lynn is got a great little story for us. She's going on a luxury cruise starting in Rome.
Yes, it's kicking off in Rome.
Do you have an extra ticket? I want to come. Are you kidding me?
You know what? I try to get some people to come. It's just a little pricey. So
but
I'm not paying for this.
It's a free vacation for you.
For me, yeah.
Oh, you're kidding me?
And my boyfriend's family. His
Wow.
mom was turning 80.
80 years old.
And she rolled out the red carpet for her birthday.
80 is the new 60,
Well, yeah, she definitely seems like she's decades younger than 8. I can't hardly believe that she's 80. My own parents are probably like 12 years younger than her, and they seem way older.
It's I think, therefore I am. You think you're young, you'll be young.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, have you been to Rome?
Yes, I've been to Rome twice.
Great place.
Yeah, I had the... I was very fortunate. I lived in London for 5 years, so I got to travel quite a bit around Europe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I think. That's what makes you grow as a person. Travel, experiences. I think most people don't live a full life till they're 50 because they don't know what's going on. They really, most people, not you because you traveled. People who have not traveled at all don't really get life till they're around 50 years old. Then they start saying, or if there's a death in the family, you don't grasp what's going on and how valuable every day is. See, my whole thing is every day is valuable, and you need to grasp life every day, and you typically don't as a young person. You live, obviously. These guys earlier tonight were partying, they're having fun, but, it's a mindset, that you try to get as much out of every day as you can, because you don't know how long you're going to be here,
I know. Every breath actually is supposed to be so, special, and we're supposed to be grateful for every breath that we have.
I like that line. Can I use it?
It's a line I hear all the time from people. It's really hard to, stay with it, though. Life can be so crazy and stressful, and you always have to remind yourself.
And we had a series this last week, I had a series on anxiety, and we talked to people about anxiety and how their experiences in having it, or people that they know that have it. And I've come to the realization that it's fear, and because I've never had any fear in my life. I'm not afraid of anything, not afraid to do anything. So, ever.
That sounds almost inhuman.
Well, I'm not human. People say I'm from a different planet. I've had 79 different trades I've worked in.
That's really cool.
79 different fields. My 80th is I'm training today, and right now at this moment, to be a motivational speaker. So I motivate one person at a time.
Yes.
And so I'm having a ball, and I'm influencing people. And this guy earlier getting a divorce, I gave him great advice on the divorce and how to look at each day. And he says, Lonnie, thank you. I'm really helping people, and it's wonderful.
Was your advice to make sure that you get divorced before the 10 years?
Well, it's not all about money.
That's my advice to people out there.
Okay, we have advice.
Make sure you do it before 10 years. Otherwise, it's 50-50 for sure, no matter what.
Okay.
In California.
Well, the good thing is they're still going to be best friends, and that's wonderful. But they met at 15, so people don't know what they want at 15. Come on, you don't know what you want at 25. And sometimes you don't ever grow into the person you are. You're always searching who you are, what you want, You have a goal, you have a couple different jobs right now. Your goal is to be a producer, and you're producing now? Is that what you said earlier?
Well, yes, I'm producing 5 projects, which probably my day job probably wouldn't want to hear about this.
Okay.
To be quite honest with you.
Okay, we won't talk about that then. But so these are uplifting stories. You're going to Rome. You're gonna have a ball.
Yeah.
And what is your dream in life? I always like to throw out the dreams.
I think my biggest dream is honestly to be able to reach as many people as possible and make a positive difference in as many lives as possible. So I love this whole concept that you're you have going on, because you're meeting one person at a time, right? So it's not like this all at once, thousands of people you get outreach to. But I really, even in that scenario, when you're reaching one person at a time, I think it creates this ripple effect. Kind of like, that movie Pay It Forward, where you just do it once, but then it multiplies.
Right.
So I think this kind of thing that you're doing is pretty awesome, and you probably won't be aware of, kind of maybe even the conversations that you have and what kind of effect it can have on the most random people.
It just started, and I'm hoping that people tune in and get something out of them, because I've interviewed scientists and surgeons and beauty queens and all sorts of walks, and I'm getting them to talk about their trade and their advice in their trade. I used to have a show called Make a Hollywood Movie, and I'd interview celebrities behind the scenes, and just because they're a celebrity doesn't mean that was their dream in life.
Yeah.
So I always ask about your dream, and then I always ask about advice in your trade, because everyone's has a trade, and hopefully they're good at it, and hopefully they have some good advice for people that want to enter it. The interview before you was a stripper, and she gave advice to becoming a stripper.
What's her advice?
Her advice was be confident. Obviously, you can't be a stripper unless you're good looking. I don't think they want ugly strippers nowadays. But you have to watch the interview. It was pretty cool, actually. And I'm having a ball. And so, I want everyone, no matter what they do, no matter how mundane a task they are, to have a ball in life. Enjoy what you do. Because I had an interview with these two gay people, and they had a 10-year-old son. And I told them that I give advice, and they said, well, give advice to our son Sam. Sam wants to be rich.
Yeah.
So I said, they said, what advice do you have for him? I said, well, Sam, you don't want to be rich. What you want to be is wake up in the morning, jump out of bed to do something that you enjoy and have passion for. And if you can do that every morning, you're going to make money as a natural byproduct of it, and you'll be successful. But making this money on its own is not the answer. I know billionaires and I know celebrities, and it's not something that you want to wish on your worst enemy.
Yeah, I think that just the whole concept of just making money in itself, that usually tends to have lots of problems that come along with it. So I think people seem to equate happiness and money as equals, and they're not.
Yeah, no, they're not by any
at all.
I think the poorest people are the happiest people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always point out the homeless to my wife, and I said, that guy has no worries. Perhaps.
Well, I can say that I've had relatives come from the Philippines who barely had, they didn't know where their next meal was coming from, and they had this thought, or I guess idea in their mind, that they come to the States and they're like, everything was going to be solved and their lives were going to be better. But in fact, they're like, actually, we're not happy here. We were happier back home in the Philippines. And the reason why is because we're constantly watching the clock, and we're trapped in kind of a routine, whether it's corporate America or whatever, and you don't really get to enjoy things as much, I guess, in comparison to what the kind of the lifestyle that they had. Even though they said we didn't have much money, but we shared what we had, and we could enjoy ourselves more. And here we feel like you're constantly working crazy hours, and so that's one example.
It's a perfect example. And
it's kind of weird when you hear that from people. You're like, wow.
And it's so true. I mean, this is a rat race, I mean, I tell people the only reason you should be in Los Angeles, a metropolis like this, is to find a mate or make a bunch of money. And if those aren't your goals, get out of town, Get out of Dodge. You found your mate. Now, I mean, of course, if you're in the production business, this is the place to do it and make a bunch of money. But money, again, should not be the goal. It'll come from doing something that you're passionate about and that you're enjoying.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's very fortunate. He's been doing for his whole career things that he loves to do, and he's super creative and gets to really delve into writing, producing, editing, and he's been pretty successful at doing it. So he's one of those rare people that fell into something. Not because I don't think he didn't actually plan out. I think he knew he wanted to do something in movies. He loved movies, but he's one of those people that gets to wake up every day. And
It's fantastic.
well, you know, I mean, the stress of it though is
probably
like
5%, you know,
clients, you know, like being consistent, because it's not a salary job. You know, you get paid by your projects and your clients.
There's a risk reward. You know, it's taking a bit of a risk by being on his own, and he's getting the reward.
Yeah.
Wonderful news. Uplifting. Off to Rome. Lynn, thank you for participating. If you guys like what you're hearing, and please subscribe, like, share, all those good things, and be fantastic today. Why wait for tomorrow to be fantastic? Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you.